This is not about a blow dryer, and if you thought it was, well, buckle up, Buttercup, because these conversations are hotter than that flat iron you're still wondering if you left on. I'm Kat, a hairstylist, educator, and one of the beauty industry's beautifully defiant misfits. This podcast isn't about viral hair trends, client bashing, or the latest formula for whatever shade of brown we're renaming this season. It's about the stories, the lessons, and the trial and error moments that shape careers, confidence, and the craft. So whether you're starting your journey in Cosmo School, thriving behind the chair, still finding your rhythm, or just looking for that push to get back on track, welcome to This Is Not About a Blow Dryer, where we talk beauty in a whole new way. Journey of a Cosmo student. Respond, don't react. Welcome back. I'm Kat, and this is not about a blow dryer. Last week, we talked about how you show up and why first impressions matter in this industry. This week, we're building onto that with something that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Learning how to respond instead of react, especially when emotions are high, and in particularly when things start to feel personal. That's when things can get really tough. Let's be honest, the hair world can be very emotional. Beauty itself is vulnerable. And when we put ourselves in the position where we're in charge of somebody else's beauty, well, that can get stressful also, which means sometimes it can get messy. One of the hardest things I had to learn in beauty school wasn't how to section a bob or mix a formula. It was actually how to keep my cool. You're learning so many things at once. How to hold your shears, how to do a scalp massage, how to navigate a client formulation. And if you were me and you know formulation, don't know her, APE. It really teaches you how to stay grounded when your feelings pretty much feel like they're on fire. And trust me, I learned this the hard way. Let me take you back. I had a consistent beauty school client. She was incredible, urban, interesting, kind of like a character out of a novella, honestly. She loved chatting, her stories were hysterical, and she had the best energy. I looked forward to her appointments. And at one point in time, she had actually said she wanted me to get in contact with a close friend of hers that had a very nice 8-chair salon in the heart of the Emerald City that she thought I would really like. She was badass. I loved her so much. One day, after her service, I walked her up to the front to check her out, and no one was there. An instructor asked who was supposed to be up front, and I said, I don't know, Jessica, I'm not sure. That's when Jessica walked around the corner. Now, for context, Jessica wasn't a client. She was a fellow student. She was significantly older than me. She was very loud, a little chaotic, and we really didn't vibe. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't necessarily go out of my way to connect with her. I found her to be a little bit crass, and I probably gave her a look or two every time she acted that way. Was it right? No, my bad. Other than that, though, we never really had any interaction, and we just stayed out of each other's way. Or so I thought. She heard me say her name to an instructor, and I must have said it with a certain look on my face because she snapped. She started yelling across the floor, loud, aggressive, and very personal. It was along the lines of, you need to get off of your high horse. You think you're better than everyone. You're not even a good stylist. Her hair looks terrible. And then she went for it. If you have a problem with me, you can just come say it to my face, or you can just go back to the country you came from. I saw red. This is not to get political in any way, shape, or form, but I think these have always been things that people face regularly, and that was something that I had heard as a younger child. I'm grateful to say that was one of the last times I heard it in my adult life, but it definitely hit a pain point, and I did not hold back. I didn't think, I reacted. I stomped towards her like a bull that saw red. And I remember asking her to repeat that, and thank goodness before I could finish my sentence, my rockabilly instructor came flying out of the office, grabbed me by the waist, and locked me in her office. I stood there, shaking, humiliated, hurt. And that was the last impression my client ever saw of me. I never saw her again. Here's the thing. What Jessica said was cruel. It was absolutely out of line. But how I responded or didn't, that was on me. Now, if that same situation happened today, I'd still be hurt, but I'd definitely handle it differently. I'd set my boundaries, not get instantly confrontational, and I would let my confidence speak louder than my anger. Here's what I learned from that. You can't control how people act, but you can control how you answer. This moment taught me that professionalism isn't just about what you wear or how you brand yourself. It's how you carry yourself when shit hits the fan. It's about presence, emotional regulation, and choosing peace over pride when your ego is begging to pop off. And let me add this. I'm not saying let people walk all over you. It just means learning how to set boundaries with grace instead of going nuclear. There's a saying that says never wrestle with a pig. And the idea of it is when you wrestle with a pig, you just ended up getting dirty and the pig likes it. Do with that what you will. Something we forget in this industry, especially in beauty school, is that we are a walking business card. Whether we're behind the chair or in the parking lot, every interaction matters. Even when we think no one's watching. Because guess what? Someone always is. So here's the takeaway. When the moment comes, and it will, respond, don't react. Whether it's a colleague, a fellow student, or even a client pushing you to your limit, choose grace over chaos. And when someone throws hate your way, walk away knowing that you're still in control, and that internal hate more than likely doesn't have a whole lot to do with you, but the fear, insecurity, and pain point you trigger in them. Thanks for listening to this one. I know this one got a little bit heavy, but if this hit close to home, shoot me a DM or share it with someone who's in the thick of learning this lesson too. Remember, you're not just building a business, you are a business. Your reputation is everything. Protect it at all costs. I will see you next time when we have another conversation that's not about a blow dryer.